What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Bit of Footy YouTube channel. Now, in today's video, we're going to be running through my round 9 tips for the 2024 AFL Premiership season. Now, last round, in round number 8, I did pretty average. I'm not going to lie. I got a total of 4 out of 9 tips. As you can see on the screen right here, these are the tips that I got correct and incorrect. The tips that I got correct were the Saints tip, the Bombers tip, the Freo tip, and the Lions tip. Every other tip I did in fact get incorrect. Now that leaves me in my own tipping comp in 26th spot out of 30 participants. In first spot in my own tipping comp, we have Graz, who got a total of 8 out of 9 tips last round in round 8. In round 7 and in round 7, Graz got 9 out of 9. So Graz is on a bit of a hot streak at the moment. And Graz is on a total score of 53 points as well. So fair play to Graz, who also has a 2-point gap at the top of the leaderboard. But yeah, without further ado, let's take a look and see what my tips are for round number 9 of the 2024 AFL Premiership season. Whoo-lee, alright, so we are kicking round number 9 off with a banger. We've got the Blues taking on the D's at the MCG, 7:30 tonight, Thursday night. The Blues are coming off that 6-point loss against my Pies, whereas the D's, they're coming off that 8-point win against the Cats. What a win it was for the D's, beating the Cats, making the undefeated Cats undefeated no more. So that was a massive win for them. This should be a massive game of footy. The Blues, they're not in the greatest patch of form at the moment. They've lost 3 out of their last 4 games. The D's, on the other hand, they are in some decent form at the moment. In their last 5 games, they've actually won 4 out of their last 5 games. They're D's, so there's a bit of a difference there. But, even in Carlton's losses, though, they haven't been, playing terribly. They've been playing some decent footy in their losses. So, yeah, it's going to make for a very entertaining game of footy. It normally is between these two sides. Tough game to tip. I know the D's are in some good form at the moment, but I'm actually going to be backing in the Blues. I don't know what it is. They normally play very well against the D's. They haven't, they've only got 1 win out of their last 4 games. So I'm thinking they'll want to get back into, winning ways, get back into some good form, into some winning form, and just get back on the winners list as well. So yeah, I'm going to be backing in the Blues to get the job done. I do think it's going to be a tight game, but I think the Blues will just get the job done by a margin of 7 points. I can see it going either way, but I just feel like the Blues will have it in them to get the job done in this game. So yeah, I'm going to back them in to get the job done over the D's by a margin of 7 points. Moving on to Friday night footy, we have 2 games on the Friday night. We've got the Cats taking on Port Adelaide for the first game on the Friday night at GMHBA Stadium. The Cats are coming off that 8-point loss against the D's, whereas, Port Adelaide are also coming off a loss, and it was to the hands of the Adelaide Crows by a margin of 30 points. I'm going to be backing in the Cats to get the job done in this game. It's at GMHBA Stadium. I don't really remember the last time Port Adelaide won at GMHBA Stadium. They sort of came close last season, or whenever it was. I do believe it was last season when they lost by a margin of only 12 points. But I do think it's going to be a little bit more tricky for Port Adelaide. They're a bit injury plagued at the moment. Connor Rosie as well, that will be a massive out. I don't think he's going to play. If he does play, fair play to him, but I don't believe he's going to play. He has a bit of a hamstring problem at the moment. He does. They're coming into this game, a bit injury riddled at the moment, Port Adelaide. I don't really know what side they're going to have to face Geelong in this game. But yeah, I'm going to be backing in the Cats to beat the Power in this one and get back on the winners list. Next up, we've got the Dockers taking on the Swans at Optus Stadium. The Dockers are coming off that win against the Tigers at the MCG. The Swans are coming off that win against the Giants at the SCG. There you go. I'm going to be backing in the Swans to get the job done in this game. They've only lost 1 game this season so far, the Swans. But to be fair, the Dockers are not playing terribly. You know, they've won their last 2 games in a row. They're playing it up the stadium in front of their home fans. So that could boost their energy and maybe find them a win in this game. But the way that the Swans are playing, they are just playing some terrific footy at the moment. Like I said, they've only lost 1 game this season. So yeah, I'm going to be backing in the Swans to get the job done over the Dockers in this game. But it could be a close one. You know, the Dockers and the Swans, when it's at Optus Stadium, it normally is a very good contest. But yeah, I'm going to be backing in the Swans in this one. We move on to the Saturday bunch of games. We've got 4 games on the Saturday kicking off down in Tasmania. We've got Hawthorn taking on St Kilda at the University of Tasmania Stadium. Hawthorn are coming off that surprising win against the Dogs by a margin of 7 points. The Saints are coming off that win against North Melbourne. This should be a very good game of footy, I reckon. It's down in Tasmania, and you just never know what the result could be down in Tasmania. You know, North Melbourne have gotten a few, decent results down in Tasmania, and so have Hawthorn. They beat the Dogs last season down in Tasmania by a margin of 3 points. Hawthorn did. So you just never know what the result could be. I'm not going to go the surprise here, though. I'm going to go with the Saints to beat the Hawks in this game and to make it 2 wins in a row. I think the Saints will need this just to get their confidence up even higher. You know, they beat North Melbourne last week, and if they can beat Hawthorn this week, it'll be 2 wins on the trot, and their confidence should surely go, a little bit higher. Should surely grow a little bit higher from 2 wins on the trot. And you never know, it could grow into more wins on the trot as well. But yeah, I'm going to be backing in the Saints to beat the Hawks in this one. Should be a fairly competitive one, though, down in Tassie. Like I said before, you just never know what the result could be down in Tassie. We move on to the 4:35 game. This one is at Marvel Stadium. I feel like it normally is on a Saturday. It's at Marvel Stadium, this one, between the Bombers and the Giants. The Bombers are coming off that 6-point win over the Eagles at Optus Stadium, and the Giants are coming off that loss against the Sydney Swans. Should be another good game of footy, I reckon, this one. I don't know. I mean, I sort of feel like the Giants will get up, and that's why I'm going to tip them. But you just never know, is what I should have said before. You just never know. The Bombers are in some good form at the moment. They haven't lost a game in their past 4 games. The Essendon edge, it's there to see. It's at Marvel Stadium as well. It's a fast-paced ground, and, the Bombers are a fast-paced team, so it could work hand in hand for them. I feel like the Giants, they're playing some good footy. I know they lost to the Swans, but the Swans are playing some very good footy. They're on top of the ladder, so there you go. But yeah, this should be a good game at the moment. It is 3rd versus 5th on the ladder as of recording this video. So yeah, it should be a good game under the dome at Marvel Stadium. But yeah, I'm going to be backing in the Giants. I just feel like they've been playing a little bit better than the Bombers this season. But that sometimes doesn't matter. So you just never know. Yeah, I'm just going to be backing in the Giants for now to beat the Bombers at Marvel. We move on to the 7:30 game on the Saturday night. We have got the Tigers taking on the Dogs. The Tigers are coming off that loss against the Dockers. The Dogs are coming off that loss against the Hawks. Wow. This surely the Dogs can get a ton of this game. I'm going the Dogs. I'm tipping the Dogs. But I swear to God, if they don't win this one, I will not know what to say. The Tigers, I don't know what to say. I thought they were a little bit lackluster last round, but, they were playing the Dockers, who are a good side. And, I think a lot of people were expecting the Dockers to win, but I thought the Tigers were going to do a little bit better than they did, to be honest, in front of their Tiger Army. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be backing in the Dogs in this one. I do think they will get the job done. They've got the side to get the job done. They really do. But that, they had the side to get the job done against Hawthorn and couldn't get the job done. So you really just never know with the Dogs. You just never know what you're going to get. I am backing in the Dogs to beat the Tigers in this one because realistically they should. The Tigers at the G, you just never know. And, they tend to play pretty decently against the Dogs at the G. The Tigers do. You never know, but I'm backing in the Dogs to beat the Tigers in this one. Next up, we've got the last Saturday game for this round. We've got Gold Coast taking on North Melbourne at TIO Stadium in Darwin. The Suns are coming off that loss against the Lions in the Q Clash. The Roos are coming off that loss against the Saints last round. I'm going to be backing in the Suns to get the job done in this game over the Roos. They've been playing, I will say they have been playing the better footy than the Roos have this season. Like I say every week in the tips videos, I just feel like it's just going to be the same sort of story where North Melbourne will be good in patches in this game, but just won't have the capacity to get the job done in this one. So yeah, I'm going to be backing in the Suns to get the job done over the Roos in this one and get back on the winners list. We move on to the Sunday games. We've got 2 Sunday games this round. The first one is at Marvel Stadium and it is between my Pies and the West Coast Eagles. My Pies are coming off that exhilarating 6-point win against the Blues, and the Eagles are coming off a 6-point loss against the Bombers. So yeah, I'm going to be backing in my Pies to get the job done in this game over the Eagles. We're sort of getting back into the swing of things. In fact, the last 5 games we actually haven't lost a game, so it's good to see. Yeah, I feel like we're getting back into the groove of things this season after our we didn't have the greatest start to the season. I do think West Coast are going to be fairly competitive, but I feel like it's going to be a little bit difficult for them without Waterman and without Yo. Waterman being the front man in their forward line this season, and Yo, getting back into form, and it is sad to see him, out when he was just getting back into some decent form. But yeah, I'm backing in my Pies to get the job done in this game. I do know that we have a few injuries and a few players that won't be playing this game. I still have faith that we'll get the job done over the Eagles. Come on, the Pies. The last game of the round, we've got the Crows taking on the Lions at the Adelaide Oval. The Crows are coming off that 30-point win in the showdown over the Power, and the Lions are coming off that win against the Suns in the Q Clash. I'm actually going to be backing in the Crows to get the job done in this game over the Lions. I do think it's going to be a fairly competitive game, but I feel like the Crows are going to have a lot of energy from last week's win against Port Adelaide, and they're going to bring that energy into this game and just find a way to get the job done over the Lions. Even though the Lions won last round over the Suns, they didn't play to their 100% best, and I don't think we have seen that yet this season. But yeah, I'm going to be backing in Adelaide to beat the Lions in this game of what I think should be a ripping game to end off round number 9. But yeah, those are my tips done and dusted for this round. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and yes, I will be vlogging the Pies, or my Pies, versus the Eagles this Sunday. It should be a good game of footy. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you for that vlog. Cheers.